All right, so we're here with the Felix Choy, who actually got top 4 in the Tennessee Regional this past weekend. So here we go.
So I played 44 card True Draco with Scapegoat using the Nightmare engine in my extra deck. So let's get started with the main deck. Everything else is everything so far is pretty stable. It's just the regular True Draco monsters. We play 2 Masterpiece, 1 Ignis, 2 Maiden, 3 Amano Iwatas. I played 2 Maiden because I didn't think I would need a third one. And I needed space.
So what made you actually think about using a 44 card, though?
So at YCS Memphis, I actually did a 43 card True Draco deck with Scapegoat. And it worked out pretty well because I was finding it was really hard for me to find out which cards I wanted to cut. And today I just did 44 because I trusted my gut feeling. And then in theory, it makes sense too because certain cards like Demise, Desires, you don't want to see multiples of, and having playing a deck over 40, you see less of multiples.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I played 2 Chalice. This is really good against the mirror. It's good, against Pendulum. They auto negate it with the Vortex, and also a card that you see a lot now in this format is Waking the Dragon, and this is True Draco's only out to Ultimate Falco. Literally, you have to have a Masterpiece that's not immune to spells, and you have to have the field spell up, and this would increase it by 400, so you barely get past the Ultimate Falco. So
okay, gotcha.
2 Chalice. Pretty standard draw engine, 3 Duality, 2 Desires, 3 Demise, 3 Diagrams, and then 3 Disciples, 3 Heritage. I also decided to cut down the Terraforming because it's bad to see multiples of Diagrams.
Okay.
And you're technically already playing 5. Ooh, and then card of the day, Scapegoat. This was amazing at YCF Memphis because I was able to summon Borload a couple times, which surprised my opponent, and it pretty much got me the game. But at the regionals yesterday, I only got to resolve this once against Chester. He was playing Goki, and it was pretty insignificant against him. So yeah, I'm still testing this out.
How come you didn't run 3 instead?
If I ran 3, it would have put the deck up to 45, and this isn't a card you want to see all the time because you do want to resolve your Demises and things like that. And yeah, the synergy is, it doesn't work 100%, but most of the time this is good. It's just not a card you want to see all the time, but a good bit of the time.
So you want it to be like semi-consistent?
Yeah, semi-consistent. Like for the Scapegoat, so turn 1 you usually play the Demise, and then you get all your draw cards, and you set all your cards, and then when it goes back to your turn, it doesn't matter. You don't want to resolve another Demise. You don't need to resolve another Duality. So you can resolve this at their end phase, and then you can summon a Link. You can summon Borload, or you can go through the Nightmare engine.
Okay, gotcha.
And then traps, standard. 3 Apocalypse, 1 Return, and then 2 Rivalry. Just really good in the meta right now. Skill Drain, 2 Anti-Spell, and then we did the Unending as well. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do Anti-Spell or Unending, and I decided to do both. And this Anti-Spell ended up being really good against Trickstars and Invoked. You just pop their field spell, and it's an auto-win. It's also really good against Altergeist. And then we have Infinite Impermanence. Really, really good card, especially against Mech Knights, because they try to set their cards parallel to your cards, and then you activate this, and the card they set is negated for the rest of the turn. It's just really good card.
Okay, so but the scenario is that you have to activate it on a monster they have on their field first,
Correct,
right?
first, if they do. Typically they will summon a Mech Knight there first, or
Yeah.
they have something on the field.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the main deck. It's 44 cards. And then I guess we'll do the side deck. 1 Ash, 3 Ogres, 3 Winter Cherries. Where's the third one? Okay, well, there's a third one. No. Yeah, I only played 2 Winter Cherries. 3 Zaphions. These are really bad. I put these in for the mirror match, pretty much. And that was it, but I didn't play against the mirror match at all. 3 Evenleys, and then 3 Waking the Dragon. I only resolved this once yesterday against Trickstars because the Trickstar guy summoned a Top Electrus Mania and triggered it, and I won. But yeah, really good card though.
Can you explain why you only have 1 Ash Blossom?
One Ash Blossom.
compared to the typical, 3 of or 2 even?
To be honest, I didn't know what to cut for a second Ash Blossom. If anything, I would have cut Zaphion and put in a second Ash, but I saw this a good bit of the time, to be honest, even though I only played one. So it was okay. And now let's go to the extra deck. We have the targets for Waking the Dragon. Only summon Ultimate Falco, the best one, to be honest. And then, yep, Xyz package, Gaia Dragon, Volcanosaurus.
One question. For the Awakening the Dragon targets, which cards would be best against what type of decks then, do you think, in your opinion?
I'm going to say that for 90% of the time, you're just going to summon him. He's just auto-win in most cases. And then if they don't have a field, you summon this. It's easy for some decks to out, but if they already don't have monsters in the field, it's also an auto-win. And then Naturia Exterio, you summon against decks that, play lots of spells, traps, Light Sworn, things like that, so they can get going.
Okay.
It's really good against True Draco too, actually, if somehow they out this and you resolve another Waking, I guess. And then we have the Nightmare Engine for the Scapegoats, which I didn't get to go in at all. This is supposed to be a Griffin. I was testing on YGO Pro, and it would just be another option to board load. And then we have the board load Dragon.
So you actually had the Griffin at the tournament, correct?
I did. I borrowed it from a friend, Perry.
Okay, gotcha.
And these were my only cherry targets. I got to resolve both of these because I did play one Spiral and one Pendulum. And then we got the Link Rebo, Link Spider, and another Link Spider, just to make everything else.
Well, what about like stuff as like FTKs then, such as Gem Knights?
Gem Knight.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I just bet that I wasn't gonna play any Gem Knights yesterday, and I didn't play against any, so it worked out.
Okay.
Yep. And yeah, thanks for recording the deck profile, G. I want to shout out the people I rode with yesterday. Edgar let me borrow cards. Marcel drove us, and thanks for watching.